We are with Mr. Bleeker, Chief Information Officer of Mövenpick Group. Mr. Bleeker, you are responsible for the IT and digital strategy across the Mövenpick Group. Which are your main priorities?
Well, thanks for having me. We currently have three priorities in the group. We're spending a lot of money on what we call commercial systems, and commercial systems help us to sell our hotels better. So think about CRM, sales support systems. It helps us also to recognize our customers better. So if you travel from one hotel to another, we want to know who you are and we want to recognize you accordingly. And for that, we need a set of systems that we call commercial systems. In technical terms, it's a PMS, property management system, that we're implementing, a business intelligence system that we've implemented, and a CRM system that puts it all together. We're using all cloud systems along with our partner Oracle to implement those systems, and that has obviously some benefits that we can implement it quickly around the world and that is accessible for everyone. The second priority that we have is the guest experience. Guest is more and more demanding. They see technology all around them. They're used to having amazing experiences outside the hospitality industry. For example, ordering a taxi or boarding an airplane, that's now all digitized. And we as hoteliers are still lacking a little bit behind there, and that is a priority for us now to fix that as well. The last priority I'd like to mention is security. We are a Swiss company and we're very strict on security. We're investing a lot of money in it, and we partner with some of the best companies around to make sure that our customer details and their payment details are secure with us.
So how can Mövenpick remain competitive in a saturated market like Thailand?
So our founder, Uli Prager, had his motto, and that was in Mövenpick we do ordinary things in an extraordinary way, and we still live by that today, almost 60 years later. You see that in for example, the Wi-Fi that you find in our hotels. We have a very simple log-on process that allows you to log in with your email or your social accounts. But the beauty is that you only have to do that once, and then wherever you travel in the world and stay in Mövenpick hotels, your device recognizes that Wi-Fi and lets you get on with your work or whatever you need to do online. And that is really something ordinary. Everybody needs Wi-Fi, but you all know that often it's quite complicated to log on and a lot of information is required. We try to take that away and make it as seamless as possible. In the future, what we're currently working on is to do the same for guest touch points such as check-in, check-out, where we really want to make that as easy as possible. Nobody comes to a hotel for the amazing check-in experience. They want to go to the beach or they want to have a meeting, and the check-in is often a necessary evil. We want the time that our guests have with our colleagues to be meaningful and adding value to the stay, and for that we want to take away some of the necessary things like paperwork, payment, etc. To make it to give more time to the guests to do the other things better.
How do all these modern technologies and automated systems help increase financial efficiency?
So for us, financial efficiency is two things: revenue on one side and cost on the other. Cost is a bit more the boring side of IT. We invest a lot in internal process optimization, and this, to give you a simple example, the automation of approvals within the company, the integration from our expense system with the ERP system. Those are initiatives that help us to become more efficient. Because we install cloud-based systems, it's very easy to share resources, for example, because everybody's using the same platform. So to cluster a reservations department, to cluster a revenue management department, cluster sales department, that can really optimize the cost and also improve the service that we're giving, because we have access to better quality staff, and they can be more focused. So that's on the cost side. On the revenue side, we're implementing those commercial systems, and the commercial systems are a combination of a central property management system, a revenue management system, a business intelligence system, and a CRM system. And when they work together, they become very powerful. We have a very dynamic forward look on our business, and with that we can adjust pricing and availability accordingly and optimize the revenue in the hotels.
Mövenpick Hotels and Resorts is the first company to use a cloud-based property management system. Could you explain in details the benefits for this, and if there are any negative aspects, what they are?
Sure, of course. I think the benefits of cloud have been widely publicized. Every IT company is in the cloud today, and it really it helps us to reduce the footprint on property. So that means you don't have servers, you don't need maintenance on property. You pay as you go, so for whatever you use. So if you need a lot, you pay for a lot. If you not need so much, you don't pay for it, which are all financial benefits. There's also a security benefit by centralizing and leaving our key systems to some of the top providers in the world. We can rely on their security teams to secure it, and that is something we would never be able to do on our own, being a smaller company. And this includes compliance to data protection, for example, and compliance to PCI. Now, the negative aspect of cloud probably is not talked so much about in the vendor community, but for us that's clearly when a system goes down, it doesn't go down in one office or one hotel, it goes down worldwide in one go. So happened to us a few times, and I can tell you that is not a nice time to be in IT, because the whole world needs help. We obviously put safeguards in place. These systems really rely on the internet technology, so we put secondary internet lines. We put mobile internet. In case that fails, we have reports, emergency reports that are written locally onto a laptop so they can be accessed. So there's ways around it, and the business continuity is always secured, so it's not that the business stops, but it's a lot of work for IT in case that happens.
How can technology maximize positive impact on the guest experience? Is there a risk to lose the human touch? Where is the limit?
Not at all, in my opinion. I believe technology can enhance that human interaction, because technology can really help to take away some of the lesser nice aspects of a hotel stay. For example, the check-in that we spoke about before, there's a lot of paperwork to do, a scan here, a signature there. Those are not necessarily the fun part of a hotel stay. We want to digitize that and make sure that that is as easy as possible, so the guest can interact more with our staff and have a more meaningful value-added interaction. We also want to give our guests choice, so it's important. Not everybody is the same. We've done a lot of research on this. There is different ways for different guests, different nationalities, different age groups, to interact, or their preferred method of interaction with the hotel group. So when it comes, for example, to the check-in again, we want to give the option to check in on a mobile phone and do everything online and bypass the front desk if you want to, and go straight up to the room, because there's a group that really want that. But we also want to give the option to check in a traditional way and have an interaction with one of our team members, ask questions, and have that whole experience.
So regarding digital now, how important is digital marketing and digital distribution channels for your revenue mix?
Extremely important. More than half of our bookings come through Mövenpick channels, and all of these channels are heavily supported by technology. We have our own website, obviously, which is growing year on year. We've seen significant growth on our mobile website, so mobile is really, really big. OTAs are growing, but also the guests that come in through our Salesforce worldwide. And our Salesforce worldwide relies heavily on our CRM platforms and Salesforce automation platforms. For us and for our owners, it's always a lot easier to get a guest to stay again than to go after a completely new guest. And these platforms really help to increase our repeat guest ratio and decrease this new guest ratio with a much higher cost of acquisition.
So you have more than 20 years experience in IT and digital technology in hotels. How technology will transform the hospitality industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
You make me feel old. What I believe is that as more people live in more densely populated areas like here in Bangkok, space is coming at a premium. So we see that hotel rooms are getting smaller and smaller, and the things that our guests need to do happen often in public spaces like lobbies or coffee shops. And we need to use technology really to facilitate that. And that means simple things. For example, when you sit in a lobby, that you can charge your device, that you can hook up to whatever service you want to hook up quite easily. When you are in the room and you have your entertainment screen on the wall, that you can display whatever you bring with you on your mobile device, and you can watch whatever series you were watching at home. You can continue to watch that when you're in the hotel room. So these are happening right now. If we go a little bit further down in the future, I think a lot of things will happen, and of course I don't have a crystal ball, but it's clear that stuff are going to happen with robots, with voice recognition. Robots, to start with them, you will see them already in jobs that will be either very dirty or very dangerous to do. And in hotels, think of cleaning the outside of a tall building, for example, cleaning a pool, being in a hot kitchen. Those could be done by machines, and as they become cheaper and smarter, I see those being deployed in hotels as well. The other one I mentioned is voice control. We all have it on our phones. It sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't work, but those technologies will mature very quick. And what I feel is that the interface between us and the technology will be through voice over time. We're already testing that with Amazon devices. It's far from being ready to put in front of real customers, but the potential is definitely there. So think of being in a hotel room, talk to the room and ask for service, like room service, ask the room to turn the lights on and off, to close the blinds, those sort of simple things. And that can continue ordering a taxi, integrating with other services, checking the flight online. Those are all very real scenarios, and technically they're possible, but they need to be refined before they're ready for mainstream adoption.
Thank you very much.